Greetings, adventurous travelers and fellow keepers of the lake. How are you all doing? Welcome. So, as some of you know, I've been on a sort of like a Euro trip. The end goal was to reach Essen Spiel in Germany, one of the biggest conventions in Europe in terms of board games and TTRPGs, war games, all that stuff. And yeah, we went to France, to Paris. I've never been to Paris before, so that was pretty cool. And Paris was really nice. I enjoyed it very much, especially because it wasn't the tourist season, so it wasn't that crowded, but it was super expensive. Anyways, yeah, we spent a couple of days there. We spent some time in Brussels, went to Dortmund in Germany, and ended up in Essen. The convention, it was huge. There were like these 8 warehouse-sized halls, rooms, whatever you call them, and they were filled to the brim with companies and publishers and everyone like selling board games and stuff. It was amazing. The thing is that I came with just a backpack, and you can get like board games for 50% off, and I really wanted to buy more of these beautiful gems, but with just a backpack I couldn't bring them on the plane, so I just went straight to the tabletop RPG part. One thing I noticed is Germans translate a lot of books. Like every book that I took was translated in German, which is insane. Like there is no books in Serbian, so it was fun to see. Anyways, a lot of cult books were there as well, and they were all in German, unfortunately. I still managed to get some loot, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I don't know German. I've learned German for like 7 years, but I can only say a couple of words. Anyways, I was surprised how little independent creators were there. I think I bought something from almost all of them. One of them ran out of English versions of the book. So today I would like to talk a bit about what I found about those creators, their games and books. And I want to mention like what my plans for the next couple of videos are. And you can comment if you think that makes sense or you would like to see something else. Also, I'm experimenting with this new format. I've redesigned the room a bit. And yeah, I want to make this a bit more personal. You know, the videos where I stand in front of the shelf, I kind of feel like I'm giving a forecast, like on a green screen. I've got some contacts and stuff, so I can remember the names of things. So yeah, let's start with, we can start with Kvad. So Kvad is a game that is coming out in, I think it was March. And that game is about Vikings that, as you're role-playing, your actions contribute to like a song, an epic that describes the life of your Viking. I don't remember about mechanics. I think it is a custom system. It's very simple. That's what I remember. The art is very nice. The guy who wrote it seems like a very cool guy. So yeah, go check that out. But if you don't want to wait for the English version to come out in March, they have another game. It's called Tale. It's a role-playing game based on the Power by the Apocalypse system, and it has some extra here and there. It is supposed to be a very easy system to pick up. We always play these fantasy games as like these sprawling adventures, and we always have that so much action, and there is always tactics and stats. I am sure there is other Powered by the Apocalypse games that are in fantasy setting, but the vibe of this one it was really interesting to me. It made me feel like exploring this beautiful forest and how you would encounter NPCs and other monsters, and the Powered by the Apocalypse system takes away that tactical thinking and leaves you just wanting to create interesting narrative. Everything goes towards that narrative experience that can be picked up by someone who is not even in the tabletop. If I want to get my mom, for example, into tabletop, she might not be interested in killing goblins. So this type of approach, I'm not saying you can't kill stuff in this, of course you can, but this type of game might be more suitable for that kind of audience. These are just my opinions, like how I understood it. I will read the book and play it with my group, and then I will make a more comprehensive video about it. But if, like, from just looking at the cover, it seems interesting, yeah, go have a look, learn a bit more about it. So that's Tale and Kvad. Let's look at the next one. I think, yeah, these are the ones that I haven't bought anything from. Unfortunately, I really wanted to. But they have a couple of things. Finsterland is like something similar-ish to Call of Cthulhu. Like, I think it was like not 1920s, but even like before that. And you have some paranormal things happening, a bit of like a Ghostbuster in the 19th century type of thing. There is some steampunk pulp fantasy game called Wolsung, I think. I mean, I'm probably butchering some of the names, especially because they're in German. But the game that really seemed interesting to me is the Private Eye one. It's like Call of Cthulhu, a very similar system to that. I'm pretty sure they are using the OGL version of Call of Cthulhu called Cthulhu Eternal and modifying that from what I've heard. Also, I play a lot of Cthulhu Eternal and I plan on doing videos about that because that's the system that I use for my main campaign at the moment. But Private Eye, it's much more focused on investigation. You're rolling just in like very critical moments, so everything else is just player deduction. And it sounded really fun to me, and they have a ton of material for that. They told me that a lot of people are using Private Eye as source books for Call of Cthulhu, so if there are any Call of Cthulhu fans out there, check it out. Check out their website, it will be in the description. I am certainly getting one of these books and running it with my wife, for example. She really likes investigation games, so that should be fun. Then there's Mystica, and Mystica, it's an interesting story. So I also didn't get anything from them because I don't think they have a source book ready right now or a rule book. They had 4 editions in the past, but I think all of those were sold on like conventions and stuff. It's supposed to be a game that is not rules light. It's a crunchy-ish game, but the system is developed from the perspective of how a software engineer would develop a game. A lot of systems are simple, but they interact with each other to give these emergent rules from simple constraints. And I like that they are doing this huge analysis where the Discord bot would like monitor the games that they have on their Discord and change things in the wiki dynamically to like give you proper percentages of how things are going from those playtests, which is super cool. Also, the rules are broken down into like light rules, medium rules, hard rules, and you can like sit down and talk to your players and figure out how complex you want to go. It's not tied to any setting in particular. They have a couple of settings that they're running the games in. We've sat down with the creator, talked a bunch. I can't go over everything that they told me here right now, but go check out the Discord if that sounds fun. Really interesting for all those people that are very nerdy for mechanics. This has something new going on. Then we have Nightwatch. It is made by the writer who has also a YouTube channel called RadioRetroFuture. And they have made this role-playing game. It's their first role-playing game. They're a writer. They have a ton of things. They have comics. They have books. This sprawling world that is very steampunky, but not in a sense of like fantasy steampunk, but more like sci-fi steampunk. So we're talking about 1800s, and we're talking about very sci-fi stuff happening in those times. I've actually played this one. A video is coming out talking more about it. The system is an interesting blend of some board gamey ideas and very inspired by Savage Worlds in a way. So you are rolling over, you have boon die that is a d6 that you throw with every trait or skill check. Skill checks, you don't have like normal bonuses. Every time you level up a skill, you get one die bigger than what you had, so d4, d6, and like it starts growing. And the initiative is done in a very interesting way. Not to get too much into mechanics, overall their booth was amazing. One of the best decorated things in the TTRPG space for sure. So it caught my eye. I went there, talked with them a bit. The writer was kind enough to join our Discord server, and if you are interested in talking to him or any other creators, I think we have more designers than players at this point in Discord channel, so it's very fun to hear feedback from other creators when you're making something. And as a DM, like, these people are very cool to talk to, so come join us and show us what you've been up to. It's worth mentioning that this is not a done product yet, so this is the Associate's Guide, so like a player guide, but there will be changes to the official one when it comes out. It's coming out soon. Also, there will be a GM's guide. It's called the Puppet Master's Guide in this game. That will get you more into the world and everything. Also, on the YouTube channel of RadioRetroFuture, you have a bunch of lore videos, discussions about steampunk in general. So if steampunk is your thing, I think this is a unique take on steampunk. You should go check it out for sure. Then there is Compose Dream Games. They are a publisher and a games creator from Canada, and they had a bunch of different things in their booth. I know that we started talking. They asked me what types of games I play, and I said that currently I'm running like a horror-ish modern game. So they recommended I have a look at the Liminal Space Guide. There was another game that they told me I should have a look at. Because of my budget, I was like, I should buy one or the other and not both. So Liminal Space Guide kind of won there, because I can plop this into my current campaign, and it really seems like something that can be used with Cult or Call of Cthulhu rather easily. So it has this really like gritty aesthetic, almost like dark liminal maps and stuff. So what it's supposed to do is, basically, if you've heard about backrooms, it's supposed to create a space that is like backrooms and then introduce interesting entities and like anomalies in that space, which for you cult lovers is really interesting, because yeah, we know about going into Metropolis and like breaking the veil and all that, but imagine if we can use this or something like this to describe the borderlands, you know, the borderlands in between the other side and Elysium. So I'm gonna use this for sure. I'm not sure why some things in the book are redacted. Is that just for artistic expression, or it seems like something was written underneath it, but like I don't know what the deal with that is. I think it's not tied to any system in particular, but yeah. Also in the description, go have a look what they have. It's always good to support independent creators. Everyone is capable of coming up with something that can be innovative, and even if you don't plan on running the game forever, you can find something cool in it. Fun is not something that is directly proportional to the amount of money you spend, and quality of the creative work is not directly proportional to your experience as the artist. Of course, you will have more rough edges if you are not experienced, but so what? Like, still, we are artists and we are enjoyers of this hobby, and I think you should focus on checking out what less popular people are making, because like these for me are gems. So other things that I've bought from the convention are Vampire the Masquerade. A lot of you recommended it. I've read the PDF, like 30% of it. I love it. I know that it's right up my alley, but I didn't buy it until now because the list of the things I want to buy and read is huge. The next thing I bought is Simbrum. I watched a ton of videos from this guy, Leo. I think he's one of the subscribers. Hi, Leo. And I really liked Simbrum and the way he represents it in their videos. So yeah, I saw it. There was a Free League booth there. So I was like looking around, and Simbrum it was. I also got Into the Reich. I haven't played any of the games from these creators. I know Heat, City Beneath is there's something that I really want to play, and I've bought it and I haven't read it yet. I officially have more books that I haven't read than those that I have, I think. Because I always go and read PDFs and start running another game, and these books are just here. But I think that's normal, right? It's normal. Anyways, Heat the Reich, wow, this book is, like, it's amazing. It's really a collector's piece, if nothing else. Like, the textures, when whatever you touch, it's so interesting. The art style is, like, insanely colorful. And as you can see from my setup, I like colors. I like colors. That's my loot from Essen Spiel. The war game and the terrain parts of the convention were very interesting, quite big, but not as many people as for TTRPGs. In the TTRPG space, it was like this. It was so crowded. So yeah, I really want to go to a convention where you have more of these independent creators. I will certainly go back to Spiel again. It was very interesting. I wish I had more time and I visited for more days, because one day is not enough to go and sit down with everyone you want and check everything out. And I will find a way to get more things back. For sure. Yes, the last thing I want to mention is our current campaign. That is something that is currently maybe one of the best things I've ever run, I think. I'm using all the knowledge I have gathered, everything I know to run this crazy psychological horror mystery thriller type of game set in 2055. So for all of you Call of Cthulhu cult horror lovers, a lot of things are coming. I think even if you're not into that stuff, you will find some interesting things there, I'm sure. So yeah, I'll be seeing you in those videos and on Discord, and with that I bid you
farewell, Kvad.